Hey, where's your ring? Oh, look, there's, oh no, it's gotta be on my chest. Oh, hey, look, there's a ring. Look at that. That is so hot. Sparkle, sparkle. Okay.
What was my first impression of Tanner?
Well, I was Jessie's home teacher. So our singles ward at Utah State.
I didn't really notice him until he started like giving this lesson, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm in love with him. Like he's great.
I remember the first time that we went over there that she was pretty funny. I could tell she had a really high spirit about her and that she had a good sense of humor. She didn't talk too much, but she did laugh a lot.
And I just thought that he was really cool and down to earth and funny. I laughed at every single one of his jokes. Like, every time, I just thought all of his jokes were so funny. And then I told all my roommates after he left, I told all of them that I was gonna marry him. And then now I am, so like I was right.
I liked her. I thought she was a really cool person, but other than a home teacher's relationship, we really didn't do too much with each other until around December, when she told me that her parents had moved to Highland, where my parents live, and I had the idea that we should hang out over Christmas break. I figured she would be in a new area and she would want to have some friends. And so the first night I was home from Christmas break, I called her over to come hang out at my house, and I just remember thinking like, man, she's a lot cooler than I thought. Ever since that day, I don't think we've spent more than 7 days apart from each other. So
I am having a really hard time choosing one thing.
Herself. Jessie loves herself most about herself.
Number one, I think Tanner loves that he doesn't sell security systems in the summer.
Jessie's got this funny habit where, and I try to break her of it, but I don't think I can.
Number two, Tanner really thinks that like he tells stories really well, which he does. He's a really good storyteller.
She'll get in the car, and if she thinks she looks cute, if within 1 second I don't say, oh hey, I think you look cute, she'll say, hey, don't you think I look cute?
And I think he's like sort of proud of that, which is a good thing.
She loves compliments, and I think most of all she loves complimenting herself.
He really likes that about himself.
And I would say that's probably what Jessie loves most about herself.
Okay, what is my favorite memory of the two of us?
Oh man.
I would say...
Can I get help on this?
My favorite memories are just walking to class together in the snow and walking home from class. I just really enjoyed that time every day, so.
There was one night in Logan, it was a Friday night, and all of my roommates had gone on dates. The big group date with the girls that lived above us. And I wasn't sad because I wasn't going on the date because I had Jessie, but both of us were kind of bored because we didn't have anyone to hang out with. So we got this idea that we were gonna, it had just snowed a ton. It was just snowing like crazy. So we got this idea that we dressed up in all of our snow gear, and we, in front of the door of the apartment that our roommates were on a date at, we piled the snow all the way like halfway up the door, and then we were gonna hit the door with a snowball so they'd come out and they'd be blocked in, and then we could just throw snowballs at them. It was a really good idea until we realized that we didn't actually like block them in. We actually gave them a shelter and snow for ammo. So it turned out to be this like all-on snowball fight, and it got pretty vicious. Some feelings were hurt, friendships were broken, but all in all, I think me and Jessie had a really good time. It it was pretty fun. I think it was one of the funnest things we've done.
Close the door, walk into the street.
The story of the proposal. Not the movie, the proposal like between us.
See, Jessie loves carnivals. And so I got the idea that I was going to propose her on top of a Ferris wheel. And I searched around to find a carnival, and I found that Cedar Hills was doing a carnival. And so I decided that we would go that Saturday, but I knew Jessie wouldn't get off work till late. So I called her boss and I said, you know, is there some way that you can pick her up early, just let her off a little early?
I've never had a Saturday off. So a couple weeks ago on Friday, my boss comes to the stand and he was like, hey, like, I've forgotten your paycheck for like 3 days in a row. I feel really bad. You can just have tomorrow afternoon off. And I was like, oh, cool.
So I go that morning to the carnival in Cedar Hills to kind of scope it out, and I find out that there is no Ferris wheel. And I was pretty distraught, so I had to think on the fly.
Anyways, I got off work and I was like, oh, this is awesome. We need to do something fun. And so Tanner's like all busy trying to plan this proposal, but I was like, no way, we're gonna do something. And so we went kayaking on the lake that day, and then we got back home and we just both showered, and I was waiting for him to come pick me up, but he was taking forever and it was making me really mad. And so I was like, I'm just gonna go over to his house. And I just walked in.
The ring is on the kitchen table and everything, and I'm upstairs in my room and I hear Jessie kind of yell up to me, and I was like, oh man, this cannot be happening. Jessie's at my house.
And then we left and we went to dinner. I didn't suspect anything because we went on a double date with one of our good friends, but he was on a first date, and I was like, oh, like, okay, like it's not gonna happen tonight.
I had called all of her friends and family and my friends there to be there when I proposed to her.
So we get done with dinner with our friends and we decide to go back to Tanner's house.
We walked around to the backyard and all the friends and family were there.
And as we walked around back, some of his friends were back there, and then all of my close friends and family and his family were back there in a line holding candles. And
just I walked her through the line of them and told her how much I loved her and how much I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. And
I was really, really surprised and kind of embarrassed because everybody was looking at me, but we just walked down and he proposed, and
it was a really amazing night, and I'm quite impressed actually that it worked out as well as it did for how much time we had to throw it together.
Afterwards we went and just watched fireworks, and I remember like the whole time being like, this is so weird, like we're engaged, but it was a great night and he pulled it off very well.
I sat beside you.
What I see in our future is I see me and Jessie and a happy family and lots of wonderful kids, and just us being happy and just every day growing more in love.
Similar to Tanner, he said lots of kids. I would say 12 or 13 kids and some 15 passenger vans. I like that. Yeah, and just lots of, in all seriousness, lots of happiness and goodness.
Together down to the dock, and you jumped right off it. And from out.
If I could say anything to Jessie, I just would want to say that I love her very much, and that I'm so lucky to have her, and that she is my strength and my warmth, and she is the only thing that can make me as happy as I am, and I love her very much, and I will always love her. I will always love you, Jessie. Yeah, that's what I would want to tell her.
I want Tanner to know how much I love him and how much I appreciate everything that he does for me. Nothing goes unnoticed. I'm sure a lot does, but I truly do notice everything that he does for me and appreciate it so much. And I want him to know how happy he makes me and how excited I am to be with him forever. I am just so happy with him, and I want him to know that and know how ecstatic and excited I am to be married. So yeah, I just hope that he can always know how much I love him.